old car sat in the junkyard, its rusty body weathered by time and neglect. But there was something more to this car than met the eye. It was said to be haunted, cursed by a vengeful spirit. One day, a young man named David decided to buy the car. He had heard the stories, but he didn't believe them. He was just looking for a cheap car to get him around. David fixed up the car and started driving it. At first, everything was fine. But then, strange things began to happen. The car would start and stop on its own. The headlights would turn on and off at random. And sometimes, David would hear whispers in the back seat. One night, David was driving home from work. It was a dark and rainy night. David was tired and just wanted to get home. Suddenly, the car stalled. David tried to restart it, but it wouldn't start. He got out of the car to see what was wrong. As he stood under the hood, David heard a noise behind him. He turned around and saw a woman standing in the middle of the road. She was wearing a long white dress and her hair was flowing in the wind. David couldn't see her face clearly, but he could tell that she was beautiful. He waved at her, but she didn't wave back. She just stared at him with empty eyes. David felt a chill run down his spine. He got back in the car and locked the doors. He tried to start the car again, but it still wouldn't start. David looked back at the woman. She was still standing there, staring at him. He started to panic. He honked the horn, but she didn't move. David put the car in reverse and tried to back away. But the car wouldn't move. It was as if it was glued to the road. David looked back at the woman again. She was closer now. He could see her face clearly now. It was pale and gaunt, and her eyes were sunken. David screamed as the woman reached out for him. He tried to open the car door, but it was locked. He was trapped. The woman pulled David out of the car and dragged him into the darkness. David screamed for help, but no one could hear him. David's body was never found. But the old car is still in the junkyard, waiting for its next victim.